With India's foreign policy alignment towards the US, has it sacrificed India's erstwhile allies like Russia and Iran? Is this also one of the reasons for China's aggression towards India? Well, I would beg to disagree. First of all, Iran was never an ally of India. Iran has always supported Pakistan, at least softly, when it comes to Pakistan's conflicts with India. There was one of the wars, was it 65? Most likely 65, when the Pakistanis flew all of their fighter planes to Iran in order to safeguard them from Indian bombardment. So the Iranians allowed this. So they took the side of Pakistan in this conflict, in this war with India. The Kulbhushan Jadhav affair, our man was kidnapped from Iran, from Iranian soil, and he was handed over to the Pakistanis. So Iran has never been an ally of India. It's always, well, we have had reasonably okay relationships with a relationship with them, because we wanted their oil, we needed their oil, and they were also in dire straits economically because of various sanctions. That's why they valued India as a regular buyer of oil, and that's why the relationship has been cordial and okayish, but it's never been an ally. As far as Russia is concerned, the USSR was basically India's patron state during the Cold War. India was a satellite state of the USSR. It was never an ally. It was a client and customer relationship. The USSR was the senior partner. And India was a junior partner. It held the begging ball to the Soviets, and the Soviets gave us various crumbs, and India's economy crawled along the much derided so-called offensive term, the Hindu rate of growth, which is actually the Nehruvian rate of growth. So after the Cold War ended, after the USSR collapsed, the relationship between India and Russia changed drastically. Russia lost much of its geopolitical influence. It lost much of its hard power. It became economically almost destitute. So it was in no position to help India in any way whatsoever. And the relationship changed completely. That old, what you call alliance, no longer existed, and it became a transactional relationship. So today it's no longer in any way an alliance. India and Russia still trust each other to some extent. There is a very cordial relationship between the two leaders and between the bureaucracies, the foreign affairs ministries, etc. But these two nations are not allies by any stretch of the imagination. Now, why has India shifted towards the US? Because it's a natural shift. It's a geopolitical realignment, which is bound to happen. India came under increasingly severe heat from the Chinese. The Chinese economy started growing, and their military power also grew correspondingly. And the US needed allies to basically counterbalance China. So India happens to be the natural ally, or pseudo ally, or quasi ally, because it is the only significant power in Asia that can possibly balance China or counter China. It's the only power in Asia that can do it. So that's why the Indians and the Americans are currently, so to say, natural allies, but the Americans will never want India to rise beyond a certain level. So what is the reason for China's aggression towards India? China is aggressive towards everybody. China doesn't want any large countries in Asia. China wants to see India fragmented and broken up into lots of different small states. And that has been their policy for many decades. So that is the reason why the Chinese are aggressive towards India. They want to see a unipolar world. Only China should be the hegemon, a unipolar world, the only superpower. They want to see the US destroyed. They want to see every other country as a client state of China, as a vassal of China. So the best way to do it with India is to fragment India, and that's why it is extremely aggressive towards India. So that explains the Chinese policy of aggression, constant aggression towards India.